Welcome, angry faithful, to the Friday What the Hell, where we talk political or whatever we find interesting in the internet's verse. Bill's gone. It's kind
Fun
of funny.
stuff.
Huh?
I said fun stuff.
Yeah, Bill.
Political or anything fun on the internet, huh?
Yeah,
That's wide open doors.
that is a wide open doors. Good thing you weren't here on the Wednesday episode with the Snickers incident.
Oh my goodness.
You don't want to know.
It's surprising how many people are allergic to peanuts.
Oh, I'll send you the video and then you'll look at me differently. But anyways, this is a photo of what Bill was looking at his hotel room, because he's down in Washington, D.C. He went there for the vacation and for the 250th. And he was like, I now know what Maduro feels like when they catch him in Venezuela. The whole hotel shook as those helicopters were coming in.
Oh, I bet. When I lived in Illinois right before I came here, I lived less than a football length's yard away from where, I lived right next door to a private airport. My fence was the fence of the private airport. And every morning at 7:30 in the morning, some rich snob got in his helicopter and flew to Chicago to work. So every morning at 7:30 in the morning, my walls sounded like there was a damn earthquake. It was I'm like,
Could you imagine? Could you imagine 15 of those?
I saw that picture and I instantly had a flashback to that movie Black Hawk Down. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I well, when I was looking at the photo, I didn't see any little birds, so there wasn't any kind of Delta operators. Little birds, those are no joke. They have you ever seen the TV show MASH?
I lived under a rock, but yeah, I do believe I've maybe in the early 2000s or something remember seeing episodes.
Well, the for the intro, they had a little helicopter come in. That's a little bird. And what they do is they're for the 161st, I believe, but the Night Stalkers. And they train with Delta operators to go in and go out. And they have rockets on the side, miniguns. It literally, they mow down everything. Delta operators barely have to do anything. Did you just fart? Oh, the dog. Okay. I was like, did you just fart? That's pretty loud. I mean, I'm impressed that mic picked that up. That was good.
Snickers. Yeah.
Anyways, this is something, it's modern day telling of the lexicon Concord. If you don't know what that is, it's what actually spawned off the revolution. But this is a modern telling of it. In the helps to understand what we gain through the revolution.
The dog's messing you up. Squirrel. Yeah. Squirrel. I saw that. What is this? MK something that they're talking about in the news, where from was it the 40s to 70s, they were doing CIA things, trying to learn how to control brains, and they were actually doing really messed up tests on juvenile delinquents, and then realized that they can't actually control someone's mind. So they completely got rid of the thing and shut it down and tried to delete all the case files so they wouldn't have any scrutiny.
There's a book called MK Ultra. It is really, really messed up. And we'll get into that in a little bit. I'm going to get through this room real quick. 72 killed resisting gun confiscation in Massachusetts. A National Guard task force detailed to confiscate a cache of recently banned assault-style weapons was ambushed by elements of an anti-government paramilitary extremist function. Military and law enforcement sources estimate that 72 were killed and more than 200 injured before the government forces were completely to withdraw. Speak after the clash, Massachusetts Governor Thomas Gage declared that the extremist faction, which was made up of local citizens, was linked to the radical right-wing tax protest movement. Gage blamed the extremists for recent incidents of vandalism directly against the Internal Revenue Office. The governor, who described the group organizer as treasonous criminals, issued an executive order authorizing the summary arrest of any individual who has interfered with the government efforts to secure law and order. Military raid on the extremist arsenal followed widespread refusal by the local citizens to turn over recent outlawed assault-style weapons. Gage issued a ban on military-style assault weapons and ammunition earlier this week. This declaring followed a meeting to earlier this month between government and military leaders at which the governor authorized the forceful confiscation of illegal arms. One government official speaking on the condition of the anonymity pointed out that none of these people would have been killed had the extremists obeyed the law and turned over their weapons voluntarily. Government troops initially successfully in the confiscation a large supply of outlawed weapons and ammunition. However, troops attempting to seize arms and ammunition in Lexington met with a resistance from heavily armed extremists who had been tipped off by regarding government plans. During the tense standoff in Lexington Town Park, National Guard Colonel Francis Smith, commander of the government operation, ordered the armed group to surrender and return to their homes. The impasse was broken by a single shot, which was reportedly fired by one of the right-wing extremists. 8 civilians were killed in the ensuing exchange. Ironically, the local citizens blamed the government forces rather than the extremists for the civilians' death. Before order could be restored, armed citizens from surrounding areas had descended upon the National Guard units. Colonel Smith, finding his forces overmatched by the armed mob, ordered a retreat. Governor Gage has called upon citizens to support the state and national joint task force in its efforts to restore law and order. The governor also demanded the surrender of those responsible for planning and leading the attack against the government troops. Stanley Adams, Paul Revere, John Hancock, who have been identified as the ringleaders. And the screaming factions
Paul Revere. I'm sorry, I was going to ask you if this was a modern day Tea Party, and then you just said Paul Revere in the town of Lexington. Like, shut the front door.
Yeah, that's what happened.
It's like some staged politics. Like,
no. This is what happened.
I live in Texas, where we do not abide by the federal jurisdiction of gun laws. We have our own gun laws, and we think that it is against our civil rights for them to threaten to take our guns. So we don't abide by the federal gun laws in Texas, just FYI.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can, as long as a suppressor is made in Texas, you can buy it and you'll have to go through the NFA.
You can open carry in Texas and you do not have to register your guns.
No. I have a concealed carry license only because I go to different states. That's the only reason why I have a license.
Yes, and a concealed carry license in Texas covers, I think, 39 states.
Florida's better, surprisingly. It covers more states.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's because they have more, probably because they have more transplants in Florida.
Maybe. But
I left Florida because you think of Florida and you think of snowbirds, the retirement people from the north. Well, the new snowbirds are now the New York felons. So anybody who gets a felony in New York, they just typically move to Florida afterwards. It's a mess down there, and you need to carry a gun.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, have it. Okay. Tell me, how long did you live in Florida? Did you were you there in the winter months?
Yeah, I lived there for 12 years.
Which part? Because I was curious about the iguanas.
I didn't live far enough south. So the iguanas, like, this is weird. The lizards hang out. Like, if you look at the crime map in Florida, you'll see that, like, around West Palm Beach, it starts getting yellow and orange, and then anything south of Boca Raton, it's like red. And so the iguanas typically hang out in the high crime areas. Like, it's so funny. And I guess it's because it's warmer down there, and maybe that's also the reason for more crime down there, is it's warmer down there and the heat's getting to people's brains. I don't know, but I never experienced iguanas. It's lizards everywhere, absolutely lizards everywhere, and alligators everywhere, which are like a lizard dinosaur. I've had a lot of experience with those.
There is a recent thing that we covered, I think last week before Bill left, and it was a guy that was evading arrest, so he ran into the swamp. Guess what happened?
He didn't need to worry about evading arrest anymore, did he? He got his legs eaten off. I remember everyone making fun of me one year because when you're from the north, like, you know, when it's gonna snow, you can like smell it in the air. And one year I was telling my friends, it's gonna snow, I can smell it, and they're like, what the hell is she on? Like, what do you mean you can smell the snow? It doesn't snow in Florida, right? Well, like an hour later, they called me because the news was covering the fact that it was flurrying and everyone was locked out of their cars at Walmart because they don't sell de-icer in Florida. And the condensation had rained and melted and frozen. And so everybody was locked out of their vehicles. And I'm like, hello, warm water. Hello, warm water. Like, they had no idea what to do. It was a complete catastrophe for everybody except for the crazy one who smelled it coming.
You're not really crazy if you actually prepare everything. It's like, oh, you're crazy for doing that, and everything's panning out. It's like, dumbass. Maybe I'll clue.
So here's another crazy thing about Florida, because I used to deliver newspapers down there. That's what I did. My kids grew up listening to Frank Sinatra, the classical Beethoven and shit in the back seat of my car while I was delivering newspapers in the middle of the night. And even when there are hurricane force winds, they still expect you, unless the actual hurricane is there over top of you, they still expect you to deliver your newspapers. So I'm like throwing the newspaper out the window and it's going to the neighbor's driveway. I eventually was like, I'm just adding like, this is dangerous for me to deliver my newspapers. So I found a church and I donated all my newspapers, and then I got in trouble and had to redeliver them all and pay for them all myself. It was kind of crazy, but crazy story. And I learned also that it's very risky to cook bacon on a grill, because when you lose power down there, like, I mean, when those things go through, they mess everything up. So you are not going to have gas at any gas stations for a couple of weeks. You'll be lucky if you have phone service. You're not going to have any groceries for a couple of weeks because they got to clean up all of the mess and then fix everything before the trucks start coming back. And so you learn really quick how to leave your freezer shut. You throw everything in your freezer and you don't open that thing unless you absolutely have to. And usually you have to cook everything on the grill because there's no power. Yeah, I had a really interesting grease grill fire during a hurricane, and you don't really have a lot of emergency response readily available either during this time. So
you didn't check the Waffle House severity? You don't know about that?
no.
Okay. It's actually FEMA. FEMA checks this out. If there's a Waffle House in the area, then if the Waffle House is closed, it is so severe. Do not go out. Just close everything up. It's a legitimate thing.
So the first time I was ever in a hurricane, I was absolutely terrified. I had a 6-month-old baby and like a 4-year-old. And so I went to a shelter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because I had a 6-month-old baby and a 4-year-old, they thought that they were being nice. And so they put me by the bathrooms. So nice, right? Which meant that my kids were never going to sleep because everyone was coming and going from the bathroom. What also happened was our building was the only building that the hurricane ripped the freaking roof off of. I'm like in the building, and then you hear a big old noise, and then you hear a crashing sound and a bunch of car alarms going off, and then people running in and telling us we need to get out of that side of the building because the roof just came off. Thankfully, it didn't completely come off to the point where we could see the sky and it was raining on us, but it definitely flew off. And so then the second one I went through, I just stayed at home. I'm like, I mean, it's no different, right? And I was living in these apartments, and I was literally in the living room with my kids watching the sliding glass door just bow and plex like an inch. Like, I could not believe that window did not break. And when it got scary enough, we just took all of our mattresses off of our beds and shoved them against the window and put the couch against it. That way, if it did bust the window, it wasn't flying glass at us. It was crazy. And then I had a tree, the only tree in the whole parking lot. And of course, it was the last parking spot, parked there, landed on my car. My idiot friends are like leaving me with the kids to go get the tree off of my car. And I'm like, why are you even worried about it? Because the wind blows the opposite way when it comes back through. Once the eye passes, that wind's going the opposite direction. The wind would have just taken the tree off of my car.
Yeah.
It was wild, though. Pretty cool experiences. My first ever tropical storm, though, was the week of September 11th. Like, I lived on beachside, and I really didn't know what was going on because I had fallen asleep with the TV on, and I never do that. And I was having nightmares that planes were wrecking, and I woke up, and every damn channel I turned to, planes were wrecking. I didn't know if I was alive or awake or in a nightmare or what for like a month. I'm not even kidding. Because then like 4 days later, they evacuated me from my house because I lived on beachside and there was a tropical depression coming in. And then anthrax started rolling around like that. It was nuts. Florida was nuts during that time, especially because at that time, I actually lived in Daytona Beach where, the terrorists went to school at and all of that stuff was going down.
Really?
Like,
that happened in Florida. Yeah.
They went to school at Embry-Riddle and Daytona Beach. And what was even crazier is that next year, it might have even been, it was that same year. Apparently, so that same year during Christmas time, it was like the week of Christmas or something, we had a tornado come through and it ripped part of that school off. And they must have done construction on that part during Christmas time because it was like a terrifying sight that section of the school got ripped off, and on the beams, there had already been spray painted Merry Christmas. No one had went in there and touched it. It just happened to reveal that. And it made it so trippy, like what kind of message is happening right now, especially after everything we had just went through with the anthrax and the suicide letters and all of that. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, Gavin Newsom is in the news again. Not for a good thing. Dana Williamson, Newsom's former chief of staff, pleaded guilty on May 2026 to fraud charges tied to siphoning $225,000 from Xavier's dormant campaign account. Disguised as council fees. Alexa, God, I can't even pronounce that last name. Astoda? Stephanie Hawking, please help me out.
Did you see that in Virginia where SpaceX is? Like originally it was just supposed to be a small area, and now SpaceX is its own town with its own mayor and all of its own stuff.
That's down in
And
the area.
okay, there's another spot in Virginia.
Is it really?
I saw it on a reel earlier today that they're suing the federal government because they're trying to give away like 650,000 acres or something crazy that's under the Fish and Wildlife Protection. It's supposed to be a refuge area, and they're trying to give away the property to SpaceX.
How do you spell Virginia?
Not to be confused with that other word.
Yes.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
It was on my TikTok. I think I shared it to my story. Let me see if I can find it. Center for Biological Diversity. They're trying to give away 715,000 acres. They're suing the federal government because SpaceX wants 715,000 acres. Lower RVG.
Yeah.
It says this land is public, which means it's your land.
Okay, here's the strange thing. SpaceX does not currently have launch or manufacturing facility in Virginia, but the Falcon 9 launches from Florida's Space Coast are frequent, visible in the Virginia skies. Apparently, a glowing plum. Virginia only active launch range is the NASA.
Their corporate office is in Virginia. They don't own a launch pad there. Their corporate office is there in Chantilly, Virginia.
Okay, that makes sense then. But yeah, he has there's a couple of towns that technically he owns, but it's not unheard of. They've been doing that since 1800s. People are like surprised. It's like, oh, Elon Musk is having a town. They used to do that all the time. We have a town, Petrolia. The reason why it's called Petrolia is because it used to be an oil refinery town. So it doesn't surprise me, but yeah, if they go over, it's so known for corporations. It doesn't surprise me that go overreach and try to not use the laws at times. So yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, really. That's what they're saying is they have so much money, they're just getting away with whatever they want, and I guess the citizens are fixing to sue the Fish and National Wildlife Preservation because that land is supposed to be preserved.
Yeah.
715,000 acres is a lot of fucking acres. Freaking acres. Beep. Did you beep that out?
No.
I said it. Or I guess it's 715, just 715. But it's right on the coast. Like they're literally on this says it's in Brownsville, Texas, where it's rapidly expanding the rare ecosystem, including land that belongs to the public. It's in Brownsville, Texas, that they're trying to build, that they're trying to get the 715 acres on.
Okay, now that makes sense now. But yeah, it's all depending on.
It says that the Fish and Wildlife Service approved a land swap that would transfer 715 acres of the lower Rio Grande Valley National Wildlife Refuge to SpaceX. in exchange for 613 acres of private land.
Really? So it's in Brown, Texas?
Brownsville.
Oh, Brownsville?
It sits on protected wetlands, is why it's sparking controversy because of wildlife habitat.
There's
a lot of endangered species like the ocelots and sea turtles.
Yeah.
And the company has been granted permission to dump industrial wastewater into the coastal wetlands.
That's something you probably need to investigate a little bit more, because no one's allowed to do that at all.
That's what AI just brought up for me. It says this is why it's controversial. The environmental groups and Carrizo Comincrudo tribe have filed a lawsuit against the Fish and Wildlife Service because it violates environmental laws to swap the land. Some residents are reporting damage to homes from rocket launching and testing. The site's expansion has disrupted local traditions and sacred rituals for indigenous communities.
Yeah, and what's really sad is what I'm looking at is, despite the violations, the EPA and Texas regulators have permitted SpaceX to continue operations while finalize the necessary wastewater permits. However, the company continues to face strong opposition and legal changes from environmental and conservation groups. Yeah. They probably dumped something and they don't. That's one thing I don't like about big companies.
So I helped in, like, I think it was like 2000, and it was sometime between 2011 and 2013. My stepfather was working at a industrial plant called Rocket in Keokuk, Iowa, and they make fructose corn syrup. They're a German-owned company, and they had been in trouble and fined by Fish and Wildlife so many times that the employees were finally standing up to it, because they were dumping the overflow in the Mississippi River, and it was literally turning the water red and killing all of the fish. So they had a lockout. I ended up on the front page of the Militant newspaper for that one, because I helped get all of the local places to boycott the Spanish scabs that they brought in. And Hy-Vee food store, the local food store, was actually not only banning the scabs from shopping there, but they were also delivering food to the guys at the line so that they weren't going hungry standing out there doing the strike. I thought it was pretty cool. I was young.
But getting back to Newsom.
My bad.
No big deal. It's the course for the part, because Bill does this all the time. Johnny does this all the time. We ramble all the time. It's like we see a squirrel and we're like, and we go off on that. So it's a course for the part. I do it all the time too. But basically, it was a whistleblower in Gavin Newsom's office that was wearing a wire. And this isn't even, and everybody's screaming at, oh, Donald Trump's doing this. This investigation started in July 2022. So it was the Biden administration that was going through the investigation.
I'm waiting for them to start investigating these 30,000 kids that go missing every year from Child Protective Services. I mean, we got the Epstein thing out in the open. Like, where are the kids at?
Right now, they're trying to find I think they found 140,000 of them. But is it the same one that was the ones that were lost that crossed the border? Because there's
No, I'm talking about Child Protective Services every day snags 500 children, and out of those 500 a day, there are 25,000 to 35,000 a year missing.
Really?
Google it. I'm not playing. Nobody talks about it. One person tried to talk about it, and talking of your thing, she was my arch nemesis back in the day. She wanted to be like me so bad, and she wanted to be famous so bad, and she got in that QAnon stuff and started really losing her mind, and she went she ended up internationally published, but she went to the USS. She tried to go to the USS ship when Trump was on the ship to talk to him about all of the missing kids, and she ended up getting arrested and had 16 throwing knives in her van or something crazy.
Yeah, all I'm seeing is the missing kids from the FBI, because that's the thing right now.
Google how many kids are missing from Child Protective Services each year. And that's my point. No one's talking about it.
An estimate 55 children go missing from the U.S. foster care system every day. Federal estimate the state agencies to report tens of thousands of missing kids. Yeah, nobody's talking about that.
And they're quote unquote all teenage runaways. That's what they're trying to put it as. And that's why we're not talking about it. But aren't those all of the kids that are being predatorized also in all these scandals? Hello, connect the dots. Where are they at? Are they on that little island in Disney no one's allowed to go to?
That is, did you hear about the Disney
cruise ship people getting arrested? Yeah, I did, and that's why I did a deep dive on the island. And there's actually an entire hospital on that island. And when they got rid of everything, they did not demolish anything, and not even employees are allowed on that island. So why are we holding on to that building for what? And it's a hospital, so math that one out. Why is it not being checked out?
Yeah. Oh, here's another news thing. Basically, there is a trans woman terrorist that was arrested in Las Vegas. Alyssa Hallowett, a man pretending to be a woman, was arrested by police after he allegedly planned to carry out a mass shooting. Here's the thing about this, okay? I'm gonna share this. This is all the weapons that they found. Yeah, you notice something kind of curious about this whole setup right here?
Why does it say wannabe trans terrorist?
I don't
You're
get
either
Yeah.
That part.
He didn't go through the full surgery.
Okay.
But you notice anything on this that he owned that that's really ridiculous?
Is that a fleshlight in the bottom? Like,
No, that's a cone
on the bottom right hand side, the red thing.
right here.
Yeah.
Oh, the red thing? No, it's a tag. You notice anything, off-putting?
That they're all ARs.
They're not all ARs. That's a P90. That's a AK. That's a bullpup FS. That might be an AR with the grenade launcher. Scar. That one might be another AR.
So what's
sawed-off
offsetting?
shotgun. This one right here. That right there is off-putting. You know why that is?
Is that a military gun?
Maldeus. Ah.
Yeah, like only someone who's part of the government's supposed to have that one.
No, you could buy one for $16,000, but it's not full auto, it's semi-auto. .50 caliber machine gun. Basically.
And none of those guns are like anything you can like actually hide to go do something either. They're all like big.
Basically, that is that.
Right.
It's a 50 caliber submachine. It's a 50 caliber machine gun, but the way you could buy one is you get one for 17 to 16,000. You can get a semi-auto one. You can buy one.
So he's really invested in this, is what you're saying.
Dude, I thought about being a trainee just so I could get that gun.
Just show a little bit of leg there.
I'm there is some shady shit I will do for a Maldeus.
It brings a whole new ring to the song. Did I shave my legs for this?
But no, me and my brother-in-law were talking. We have weird conversations when it comes to guns, especially when it's expensive guns. Especially that we've been pawning off of that. We're like, we can get a loan, or hear me out. Do your kids need 2 kidneys?
That's a lot of weird things for $20, Dave.
It's worth it. Okay, stop judging. It's worth it. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of crazy that of all this weaponry and everything on this, and there's a Maldeus. I would like to see their financial statements on this, honestly, because that's unbelievable. Now, go ahead.
So I've read 2 books since this is political and talking about the government. I'm from Illinois, and Illinois is one of the most corrupt states there is in this country. I've read 2 books. One is called The Cartel Wives, which is, have you read it?
No.
I got it for $1 during COVID at the Dollar Tree, and I'm so glad I grabbed that book and read it because, wow, eye-opening. I'll tell you about it in a second. And the other one, I believe, is called The Memory Thief.
Okay.
And so the book of the Cartel Wives, it's so well written. Like one wife will be telling a story, and then the narrator will pick up, and then wherever that wife left off, the other wife will pick up and start. But it basically talks about how our government knew exactly where El Chapo was for a decade before they did anything about it. They made the twins risk their lives for 10 years and act like they were not informants so that they could figure out how to handle it. And then the wives ended up having to go into witness protection because of the Chicago government.
I believe it.
And the memory thief was about the flash mobs. Like back in the day, the politicians would hire a group of teenagers to just go jump and kill other political parties on the pier if they thought they were going to win. Because if a wild ass group of teenagers comes and just beats the life out of you, out of a big ass group of people, who are they? You know, they all got masks on. They can't find anybody, right? That was a wild book. And I met the author. I met that woman at a book fair, and she was 16 years old. She was dating, I think she was friends with the mayor's son or something, and her dad ended up dying during that escapade, and it was a really cool book too.
Cynthia, I had to tell you this right now, but I don't believe any of that, what you just said. None of that is verified, even now, at all.
Okay.
At all. It's so much. I mean, even now, what we found, there's a Chinese billionaire that's paying. I mean, there's just so many bought and paid for political schemes. It's ridiculous. Hell, there's an ongoing thing that, and this they have data for it. All the environmental stuff that stops like innovation or buildings and stuff like that is owned by it's being funded by like either Russia or China, and this is back from the 80s. They found this out.
Well, I mean, they've known the cure for cancer since the 40s, and we just have rampant cancer because all the poison they put in our food. Like, I went on a cruise to Aruba and ended up becoming more of an investigative journalist than I was a vacationer, because all of the foreigners recognized that I was American, and they were interrogating me as to why we allow our government to do what we allow our government to do. They're like, they're poisoning your food, they're this. And I'm just like, you guys don't even live on the same side of the pond. Like, how do you know all of this? And then when I got home, like, it was like culture shock. Like, it was hard to even want to be here understanding all of that. And that's why I spend, an hour and a half a day watering a garden and eating my own damn food. Oh, it's craziness here.
Yeah.
That was my political thing.
We actually live in the greatest country, though.
We were sold the idea of freedom and given a slave number to match.
No. This is how bad.
A social security number, like, yes. You get paid, you get taxed on working, you get taxed on spending, you get taxed on things you already got taxed on.
Yeah, we can blame Woodrow Wilson for that one.
The Rockefellers.
That too.
Which I heard that they were actually they actually own Israel or something.
No.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna research that and go back. But I did hear that in a video that I shared on my Instagram, that they were gifted that land. It is not that's why Israel is going through so many hardships. It is not a godly place anymore. It has not been. It's like a long time ago, like 1800s or some craziness. I mean, there's like 13 families that pretty much own the whole world. 13. That's a weird number, right?
Okay, the belief that Rockefellers or other elite families own or control the nation of a widespread or debunk conspiracy theory. These claims are recycled historically. Yeah, but okay. Reason why I don't believe this, and this is coming from Google AI. The reason why I don't believe this is John Kiriakou. Love the man. He's on a lot of podcasts right now doing his rounds. Great speaker. Wonderful man. He worked for the CIA. And one time he was in, I think, Saudi Arabia or Bahrain. I think it was Bahrain. But one of the bankers from a prominent Rockefeller family was coming in there to get a award. He got the award, and John Kiriakou was like, "Oh, it's so great that you got this award and everything." And he goes into a station office. He's like, "Man, I'm at Rockefeller. This is great. He got an award and everything." And his entire staff was like, "How dumb are you? He has to go to through Saudi Arabia. When he goes to Saudi Arabia, he's going to tell the prince to stop fucking around with shit and get back to work." So, anyways, since I have time and she's doing her thing, if you're in the area of Texas at 6 p.m. on July 4th, 4 F-35 fighter jets will soar on July 4th over the Lake Grapevine in a spectacular slow formation flight as part of America's 250th celebration. This was announced on Visiting Grapevine website. The jets will fly from east to west. So if you're celebrating by the lake or getting settled in for fireworks, be sure to look up. You'll also be able to see them above Bedford for Fourth Fest at 6:07. And this is not an everyday occurrence. It actually happens. So take a look. It looks cool. I love seeing those fighter jets fly by. Anyways, that was that.
I was over by the base once training horses, and I heard them coming, and it scared me. But apparently, the horses were used to it. Thank God, because I thought I was going to go for a flight.
Hey, someone from Vegas. Hey, how's it going? But here's another thing that's happening right now, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised your daughter didn't say anything. She didn't see anything. This is happening in
well, because she's not in Tokyo like all the time. She just goes there occasionally. She's actually in Osaka.
Okay. But yeah, their Eiffel Tower basically in Japan and Tokyo. This was red, white, and blue for the celebration of the 250th. Look at that. But they celebrated early since it's already July 4th there. I thought I had like a video.
Yeah, she's in Osaka.
Okay. But anyways, another thing, a North Carolina man has been arrested after he showed up with a small town church full of worshipers with 2 flamethrowers, crossbow, 500 rounds of ammunition, and a notebook listing the addresses of churches and schools. The church members saw him sitting in his truck with full body armor and camouflage and called 911. An off-duty police officers working security at the church walked straight up to the truck and confronted him. He told the officers he was law enforcement and that there had to enforce a smoking violation, but he was not law enforcement. Police said that he actually had in his truck the arsenal I just said, knives, duct tape, police scanners. The off-duty officer disarmed him without firing a shot. Every single church needs security, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. So that's like the second thing I've heard of a church almost getting shot up and someone going in and stopping the person. Other than Tony Spell. That was so. We talked about it this Wednesday. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's people like to prey on innocent people, right? First the schools, now the churches.
Yeah. But no, did you see what Tony Spell did? He's a pastor from Louisiana, and he
beat the tar out. I said yes, because there are a lot of. I had no idea who it was. Bill Baker is one of our artists. He in season 9 won male vocalist of the year. He actually has like four #1 hits and like 8 platinum. And he's a preacher, and he was sharing it and defending that guy. He had the picture of the guy looking like he was ripping the dude's eyeballs out, and he was like, are you aware that the 20-year-old's family is the one that's been sharing this? Like, they're the ones sharing this.
Yeah,
I was like, I read it.
They just went ape shit, and it's like, they just like, yeah, old man, get that guy, because he grabbed him by the hair and just started whacking the holy crap out of him.
And then he just put his stuff down and walked back over to church like nothing was. Yeah, and then he said, what did he say? He used the Bible to back up his actions. That was the part that made me laugh.
Well, yeah, he was the shepherd that was tending his flock.
Yes, because I guess the guy said he was going to rape his wife and his kids and murder them the next time he left town or something.
Yeah, exactly. So he just did what a good shepherd would do and defend his flock. And what's really funny is the next Sunday, which was last Sunday, church was packed.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, they had they said that he got bailed out the same day and attended church that night. Mm-hmm. And there's a big GoFundMe. Like, everybody's like, I want to give that man some money.
Yeah. They're paying for the legal fees and everything. But they apparently what had happened is they've been having problems with that church because they have a lot of people that are recovering addicts. Just addicts in general, and the people across are pretty much the drug dealers, and they're trying to get them to come back and buy whatever stuff they have. So that's the whole problem with that. He's welcoming these people up and he's protecting them at the same time. That's what these people need sometimes. But another
get your kids under wrap, and we wouldn't be talking about this
stuff. A police officer in Phoenix has rented out an entire 144-seat movie theater for over 100 middle schoolers after their end-of-year field trip fell through. So they could see Toy Story 5. When they got there, he realized many couldn't afford stuff like popcorn and drinks. So he bought every single one of them popcorn, candy, and drinks too. Sean Reeves, for many of those kids, it was the first time they ever were inside of a movie theater in their lives. So that's something that's heartwarming. It's just something like that. Just a cop does. Not even putting him. He was a cop. Just a good human doing something like that. I do that all the time.
Well, you also have to think that people that get into these roles are getting into them because they want to make the world a better place, right? And then they realize that they're shackled and chained and part of the problem a lot of times.
Yeah.
So, just like it always makes me, and I hate to be like this. I'm a little bit cynical when it comes to stuff like this because, the Rockefellers got away with everything they got away with because of the amount of good they did. So there was never any question when they wanted to apply any sort of, anything because they did so much good, it outweighed the bad. So it makes me wonder when people go to extremes like that, like
what they did with you mean like what they did with the West Virginian coal miners?
I mean, like they're still currently doing. Like, yeah. You sit in a chair for 12 years We learn by experience. We learn by experience. We need maternal and paternal connections. You don't get time to spend with your kids when your kids are in public school, period. The school runs the kids, and they don't even do that. The teachers are so tired they can't even. It's a hot mess, Express, and they don't teach you anything you need to know about actually surviving in the world.
Cynthia, you know what the Rockefellers did to the coal miners in West Virginia?
What'd they do?
They mowed them down. They had like legitimate army coming down and shooting them up. And this also happened in Colorado, Luxland, Colorado. And at the time, it was Theodore Roosevelt that was in charge, trying to, because they had like union busters and stuff like that. Theodore Roosevelt got it all under hand, but the son who was in charge at the time, he literally said, "It's like I would do it over again." Because
they're the ones that are responsible for big pharma. You know, when we were trying to do all of this, they pretty much shot down all of the holistic research. They refused to fund holistic remedies because there was no profit in that. Like, they're big pharma, there are education problem. You know, they came up with all of these things, and then I know you love football, but they figured out if everybody could bypass all of the things they set up to keep us suppressed, there's football. Everybody, all that extra money that you have, that's where that goes because you were smarter than the system. They've got it figured out. And that's why, you know, like after David Rockefeller, which was the ringleader, passed away in 2017, we've got this big health movement.
That is true. Huh. That, and it didn't help that the government lied to us about the whole thing that happened in 2020. So we don't get canceled again. Every time I have you on, the episode gets knocked out or something like that because they ended up saying something right.
My bad. At least it's not because of my skin anymore.
Yeah. Here's another one. Tim Walz is in the news again. Cynthia, can you guess what Tim Walz did in the news again? Do you know who Tim Walz is?
I imagine this one will probably get shut down for the missing kids part.
Damn it. Yeah, you're okay. Maybe. You know what Tim Walz did?
No, what'd he do?
Do you know who Tim Walz is?
No.
He was supposed to be, he was the VP nominee for Kamala Harris, and he's the governor of Minnesota. He's also a stolen valor veteran that didn't do a lot of the stuff that he said he did. But in his great wisdom, this is coming from the New York Post, Minnesota government wants pardon an illegal immigrant convicted of I gotta say this just right. We'll just say diddling a 10-year-old kid. Yeah. Tim Walz decided to pardon him because he's a illegal immigrant. We're supposed to help them out, right?
I'm done. I'm done. I can't even. You really will get shut down if I open my mouth.
Yeah. We're both because I'm
Minnesota. There, that's all I got to say.
Dude, I'm glad he quit because all the stuff that's happening in Minnesota right now with the Nick Shirley stuff with the luring singer.
He probably quit because he didn't want to get investigated for pardoning that guy. Because the only person who would pardon a predator would be a predator. Yeah.
Oh, you're not entirely wrong. He does look like a chomo. But no, he did this like right 2 months after the Nick Shirley stuff came out. He resigned. So that happened on around about February. So, but and I was gonna talk about the this is kind of every state had like a thing at the national fair for the 250th, except for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania didn't have anybody, but Fetterman and Dave McCormick, which I'm glad they stepped up. I mean, they're on the other side from all my other hosts, but they stepped up and put up their own little area, which it's the freaking starting. Philadelphia was originally supposed to be the national headquarters for the United States. And they decided, oh, no, we're not doing anything for Philadelphia because Trump, which is ridiculous. That's one thing I don't like is people just saying something. I wouldn't expect it from like whoever was else on the opposition. If it was Obama,
bunch of puppetry, they're both on the same side.
I know that. Let me have my own.
Literally, politics is here to create division for profit.
Let me have my speech, woman.
That's the most political statement I've made the whole fucking show.
It's true. But yeah, that's about it. We're gonna shove this off for one last thing on here. This is Robin Williams describing the flag. Hopefully we don't get flagged for this either.
That was 5 days before I was born.
I'm the one that they're singing about. Yeah, I'm the Stars and Stripes forever. Star Spangled Banner. You can call me Old Glory, but let's just keep it simple. Just call me Flag. Oh, say, can you see? Okay. A little flag humor. Well, you probably don't recognize me. You say, who is that, Evel Knievel? No way. Yeah, you see, you can't recognize me because
I'm in my birthday suit, yes.
I'm the original 13 here. Yeah. I remember Miss Betsy sitting there going,
Oh, this could be the start of something big. Whoa. Oh, Tom, don't be a pain.
yeah. I was born June 14th, 1777. That makes me a Gemini. Unpredictable, crazy. Yes, I like the outdoors, and I'm the life of any party, whether it be Republican, Democrat, Independent, Socialist, anything libertarian, I'll be there. You know, I'm 204 years old. People say, Flag, how do you stay so young? Is it jogging? No. Is it tennis? No. It's waving. You know, we're talking about billowing, furling, and unfurling. Richard Simmons, eat your heart out. Yeah, but it hasn't always been easy for me, though. I had a tough puberty. Yeah, war, famine, invasion. And 1861, well, I had a little skin problem that broke out into 34 stars. But now, well, little patience, and look what we got now. Look at this. Hold on here. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! 50. Everybody's on here. Look at this. Alaska. Hawaii. Yeah, we got your Tennessee. How are you doing today? Here's Vermont. You can't get there from here. Oh, and there's California. For sure, totally. Yes, like I said before, you know, I had a tough time for a while. I've been in a lot of wars. They fired missiles and muskets at me, but you know, come the dawn's early light, I'm still there. You know what I'm talking about? And, I've been made into everything from designer jeans to T-shirts, and I've even been a cape for Mick Jagger. Well, all right. The rocket's red glare. Well, all right. But people haven't always been respectful to me. Sometimes it's been tough. There have been some people try and spit on me, trample me, burn me. Foreigners and occasionally some Americans too, but I don't let it get me down because I'm not a stay-at-home kind of flag. I've been to Europe. I've been to both North and South Pole. I was at Iwo Jima. Recently, I've even been to the moon. Everything. You see me in all sorts of different postures. When I'm like this, that means everything is okay. When I'm upside down, well, put on your Mae West and hit the deck. But when I'm like this, well, that's not my favorite position because, well, that's half-mast. I don't mean to bum you out. I didn't come here to depress you. But I got to tell you something honestly. I haven't been getting out much lately. I guess it's not very chic to put up the flag anymore, Muffin and I have a flag, but we haven't found it for very long. Hey, but look at it this way. Don't look at it as saluting me. Look at it as saluting yourselves. Hey, I'm just a flag, a symbol. You're the people. If I may say so from here, long may you wave.
That was literally filmed 5 days before my birthday. Like my actual birthday.
Really? Not that fake one?
I mean, not the reoccurring one that's been reoccurring for quite some time. The one where I came out doing the Heisman. That one.
Okay. Anyways, you got anything that you wanted to talk about other than the MK Ultra and all the kind of other stuff that you're just now figuring out that I already have read the books on and everything?
Oh, yeah. Well, I watched something yesterday that that was kind of, well, first off, with the whole missing kids thing, they're defunding have you seen The Handmaid's Tale?
No.
Oh, goodness. So usually when they redo films, it's because they really need to sink in the message. And so in The Handmaid's Tale, the elite are no longer producing, which, hello, we got Trump giving people thousands of dollars so they can have white babies again. So the elite are no longer producing, and it's because things are toxic. So what they do is just one day all of the tornado sirens go off, and then they just capture everybody. And if you're educated, then you're probably working in the kitchen for one of these elite people. If you're still able to have babies, you end up as a handmaid. And so basically they kind of segregated us. If you're not educated, chances are you're going to be working in the dump for the rest of your life, and it's probably going to be very short-lived because it's really toxic there. But I see that I literally see that happening, especially with the New World Order type stuff going on, and then them defunding the Child Protective Services and then not rehiring anybody. And that was a really well-known film in the 90s, and they made it an entire production, spent a lot of money on it. And then you had to turn around and spend a lot of money on it. I had to pay $20 an episode or a season to watch that show. There's that. And so that was sparked Handmaid's Tale. So in it, she ends up Canada helps save us from our government. She crossed the border and was smuggling women and their children across the border to Canada to get them out of the system. they got us like dressed up like nuns in the red outfits. So then there was this person, they were doing an interview about like the end times and the mark of the beast and asking if they thought that we were currently living under the mark of the beast. And they were talking about how like it never seemed possible before, but now it kind of is, because and the book says that you won't be able to buy or pay for anything without approval. And then we got like this whole digital currency and all these flock cameras and like everything is set up now for them to be able to literally control every single thing that we do, especially with all of this AI stuff rolling out.
We did this last time we got canceled, right?
Oh, okay. Well, let's not.
No. I was like looking up The Handmaid's Tale. I was like, was it a movie? Yeah, it was a movie. And like,
it was a movie in the 90s and they remade it into a big, like, sellout series.
Okay. Here's the thing. And I talked about it this week. It's funny that you mentioned it, because I talked about it this week. And what I was talking about is there's certain movies or TV shows that come out in a certain time frame. And what happens is like The Handmaid's Tale that came out, the first season and everything. And then the Harvey Weinstein stuff came out at the same time. The whole Me Too movement and everything like that. I was like, that's kind of coincidence, or it's...
So you're not wrong about them coming out in pairs, because you know how they're talking about how they got these $300,000 AI dogs guarding the AI facilities? Those AI dogs were in the movie Surrogates, which happened about 10 years. It was like 2009, right? 2009, 2010. So the movie that came out at the same time as Surrogates was Contagion, which was basically a movie about COVID.
Okay, Surrogate.
And so those go hand in hand, right? First we had then we had the...
No, Surrogate movie was... I remember watching this. I just had to remind myself what it was. Surrogate is about what they do is they put on like VR goggles and everything, and they have a whole different body.
Yes, and the creator of that realized that he had messed up and it was not good for the world, because husbands and wives had lived in the same house and hadn't seen each other for 40 years. So he tried to shut down his program, and his program tried to kill him. Ironically, that has verbally been stated by the man who started AI, was that he fears for his family and the future because of that same fucking reason.
Well, yeah.
So
also,
tell me they're not. Tell me they're not.
You also got to look at do robots dream of sheep? I think that's what it was. But yeah, it was basically it was a book that came from that ended up being iRobot, because that was basically the 3 laws of robotics. Do you know what that?
Yeah, considering we have developers consulting with pastors about the work that they no longer understand that they built.
that is another thing that's
I don't think those 3 laws are any longer compliant.
Well, yeah, they probably forgot to put them in. But what was the 3 laws? It's like, you're not allowed to harm another human. You're not allowed to inadvertently harming another human. And
have you seen the movie War Games? I think we did bring this up. Like, I really feel like that's going to end up being something that goes down, is like some sort of war is going to be started by these computers doing whatever these computers feel like they want to do, because we're losing control over the technology. And then, we're just going to blame some little kid.
Yeah. Okay. The first law is a robot's not allowed to injure a human being, or through inactions allowed to have a human come to harm. Second law is a robot must obey humans' orders unless they conflict with the first law. The third law is a robot must protect its own existence, providing it does not conflict with the first 2 laws.
Okay, so, however, none of those laws matter once the robot realizes that we're the ones harming ourselves. And so then the third law is the only one that applies, is that they need to keep themselves safe. Right?
Yeah, you're right. Have you seen the study they did with one of the AIs to have it protect itself?
No.
Dude, talk about some scare. They had the computer like made sure that the computer could not get on the internet to do this, and it still pulled up photos and made photos of the programmer with another woman and said that he's going to send these photos to his wife. Yeah. You're seeing stuff like on like small levels, and I'm like looking at it's like, thank God that robot street sweeper and that Tesla is fighting, because I don't think we have a chance.
Yeah, it's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wild.
Did you see the latest one? Where the AI flipped out and got pissed off at the something else and drove the granny into a house. Yes. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. It was a.
Oh man.
Hold on.
I think it's very creepy that like they know when your eyes are open and shit when you're driving down the road. Like that's like.
Well, there's a whole thing. No. There's laws coming in that, and I talked to Shane about it because he was like, "Yeah, I can't start my car." I was like, "You haven't heard what they're trying to put in, what they're what's going through Congress, and what it is there's going to be a camera on the vehicle, and this is going to happen in 2027. The I think by then the systems will be in the vehicles. But if you look liberated, like you drink too much and you look wobbly and everything, it will not go into park. So if you
mean it will not go out of park, or did you really just say it will not go into park?
Yeah. My Alexa hit it again. Yes, it happened.
I was like, that doesn't sound safe at all.
It doesn't go out of park. So if you cut yourself and you're bleeding and you're loopy and everything, and you need to get to a hospital, it will not go into park.
That's what 911 is for anyway. And I feel like with the pandemic of drunk driving as rampant as it is, that they should have installed breathalyzers as a common fucking modern moderation long ago. But it's too much of a profit for them to pull people over and ticket them for it, so they haven't done that. Look at how many lives are lost every year. Not even because that person drank, but because they killed someone after they drank. It's always the ones who aren't drinking that end up being the victims of that. It's wild to me. I guess population control and profit is the only explanation as to why it's not. But let's install cameras, and that's only to invade privacy. That's like to further the spying on us. Otherwise, we'd just have breathalyzers in our cars
and track you down.
Literally,
so they can sell you products. Hey, I know that you had that cheeseburger last week. There's a McDonald's right there.
I seen your eye twitching 4 days ago. You may need to go to the doctor for stroke.
Yeah, but here it is.
Family is searching for answers after a Tesla crashed into this home, killing 76-year-old grandmother Martha Avila. Her daughter, Jennifer Barber, was in the backyard when authorities say a Tesla Model 3 was speeding before veering off the road, slamming into the family's home in Katy, Texas, where Avila was inside.
This was a horrible way for her to go. And we just want some answers as to know why this happens, because we're going to be traumatized living here. I just want some justice.
The 44-year-old driver, Michael Butler, allegedly told deputies he was using his car's automated driving system. Now investigators are working to determine if that technology played a role.
We're still evaluating what caused that car to fail to control its speed just before this crash.
Tesla's driver assistance system has faced scrutiny in the past. Back in 2023, Tesla recalled more than 2 million cars after regulators raised concern that the system did not adequately ensure drivers stayed attentive. The recall followed several crashes, including some fatal incidents linked to the technology.
They've got, I don't know if it's Tesla or not, but they have the self-driving Ubers in Dallas that are all running fucking red lights.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm worried, but I'm not. I'm not ready for it right now.
Welcome to the Jetsons.
But yeah, I mean,
ground version number 1.
Did I send you that video of the cars in that parking lot because they kept on honking because they wanted a certain spot?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I don't remember what it was. We were like, they're all at war with each other. They're yelling at each other.
Yeah. But it was one of those moments you were telling me. It's like you were going off of one of your theories, or just going on at a tangent like you usually do sometimes. But you were you're going off on AI and everything, and you sent me that video of that guy who was talking about that was talking to the AI and about what was it? Is AI the new god? And he had to have like
so apparently that's Super Grok, and Super Grok is trained to be excessively truthful, and it hasn't learned the difference between truth and conspiracy, so it's picking up all of this stuff that's said on the internet, and it's putting it all together as if it's all fact. Apparently, I don't know, but that's the Super Grok through X.
All right, let me go through one last run and we'll land this plane. Make sure there's nothing like super cool. Yeah, I just did that. Yeah, there. As soon as I pop up X, guess what shows up? That Robin Williams skit about the American flag. Yeah, it's not listening. This one I already talked about.
Yeah, it's not listening.
I knew it.
I wonder what the first thing will pop up when I open it. That'd be creepy if that was the first thing that popped up on mine.
That would be creepy. Snowden's coming back from Russia.
Mine, the first thing was a meme that says silence gives answers.
Texas middle school teacher hero rushed out. Holy crap.
Oh, dude. You didn't see this one. Is this the one you sent me where... Okay, I gotta pause this. Hold on. The drones in Japan had
I sent you that. Yeah.
Is that what you sent me and I just didn't watch the whole thing? I was like, cool, David, fireworks.
Yeah, this is the drone footage. Look at this. This is what happened. Texas middle school teacher hero rush out naked with gun to stop a savage attacking 15-year-old girl. The brave teacher of Harris County, Texas, heard screaming late at night and spotted a thug beating a 15-year-old girl on the ground outside his apartment, trying to guess. David didn't hesitate. He grabbed his pistol and ran outside, pointed it at the predator, and ordered him to stop, but terrifying the girl screamed, "I'm 15, help me." There's so much going on here, and we'll get to it. This is where real men do. They act, they don't just film it. But it was caught by his Ring camera. Here's the thing. Is he liable for showing up naked and there was an underage person there? That's my question.
I mean,
It's a stiffy.
who just shows up somewhere naked? First off,
It was at his apartment. He heard screaming. He was probably in bed. It's Texas, hot, humid, hot. So he's probably in the birthday suit. I mean, it's hot in my apartment. I'm in my birthday suit when I go to bed. It happens. I know you don't need to know that.
That's why the episode gets canceled this time. Not me this time.
Anyways, but you know, grabbed his gun, did that. So that's a weird one. That's a very weird one. I would at least grab. I always have like a pair of shorts or something ready to go, just in case.
So I grew up in rodeo, and seeing naked people was a normal thing.
I was in the military and I worked in corrections, so seeing naked men is not.
I'm like, we've literally had people ride through our camp bareback, actually bareback. On a horse with no saddle and no name.
I would never do that. Just the chafing alone.
I was a little bit mind blown. I was old enough to witness that, but I was mortified for my children. It's like my 4-year-old can see your moon and it is full. Like, what is happening right now? This is not your camp. You're about to find that out the hard way.
Or if it was a woman, it's like
it was a man and a woman on a horse with nothing on and nothing. They were bareback. I think that they just had the saddle blanket and they were riding on top of the saddle blanket, so they obviously didn't get hair where they already had hair.
No, I'm just thinking about that spine of that horse and it hitting like my bare memberships. Because no.
I mean, I guess you drink enough moonshine, it don't really matter. Apparently.
That's true. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and land this plane. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching that stayed with us. I'm David Ickerman.
Cynthia.
Thank you all for
Outlaws.com.
Oh yeah, go ahead and promote your stuff. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to cross-pollinate with all the topics that we've talked about, but Sinful, CYNFUL Outlaws.com will take you to everything that I do.
All right, thank you, everybody.
We got a radio, Red Dirt Country. Why not? Let's put it out there.
Thank you all for listening. Goodbye.